Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. In this video, I am going to explain hate speech Suo Motu register FIR implication by police. This year, April, Supreme Court given the order irrespective of hate speech complaint, police automatically make the Suo Motu register of FIR. But it will affect the free speech of citizens of India, and it will affect the ruling party makes this order as a suppression of opponents parties and critics. So content for this video I given in the description, you can go through and study. The Supreme Court on April 28, 2023 directed states to Suo Motu register FIRs on hate speech incidents and proceed against offenders without waiting for someone to lodge a complaint. The police must be provided with clear guidelines on how to determine whether a statement constitutes hate speech, and their decision making must be subject to review by a dedicated and independent body, desirably in the nature of a monitoring committee headed by senior lawyers or sitting or retired judges of High Court or the Supreme Court. Bible talks about Suo Motu FIR for hate speech in India in Numbers chapter 15 verse 34. They put him in custody because it had not been made clear what should be done to him. The hate speech Suo Motu FIR potential for arbitrariness. Theoretically, Suo Motu lodgement of FIR by the police in hate speech cases, even if no complaint has been filed, sounds like good idea. However, the same opens the door for police abuse of power. Our police are often accused of being selective and biased in registering FIRs, which leads to blatant abuse of power, harassment and devictimization of individuals and groups. Police officers may use the order to target individuals or groups they do not like, to settle personal scores, or even to earn political favors from the ruling party of the state by lodging frivolous FIRs against their political opponents. Moreover, the apex court orders does not provide any guidelines or safeguards for the police to follow when deciding whether to directly register an FIR in a hate speech case, so as to ensure its implementation in a fair and consistent manner. This lack of judicial guidance, occupied with the absence of any statutory standards outlining the ambit and contours of hate speech, could lead to inconsistent and arbitrary decision making by the police, which would result in serious excess and violation of the rule of law. Also, Suo Motu FIR for hate speech leads to political weaponization. In India, hate speech has often been used as a political instrument to mobilize support, polarize voters and garner votes. The apex court order may provide an edifice and breeding ground for weaponization of the criminal law by political parties to employ in their electoral strategy and campaigns. For instance, political parties may use the order to foist false FIRs in the states where they have their elected governments against rival party members or political opponents for alleged hate speech in order to sully their image or to silence them. This could lead to a situation where the police all over the country are flooded with frivolous hate speech complaints which would divert their attention from more serious crimes. Further, the order provides no safeguard to ensure that the police act in an independent and impartial manner and do not become tools in the hands of political parties. Also, Suo Motu FIR for hate speech impact on political and individual free speech. Free speech is always considered to be the quintessence of every democracy, and its doctrine evolved as a bulwark against states' power to regulate speech. In India, freedom of speech and expression is a fundamental right guaranteed by the Constitution. This right includes the right to criticize the government, political parties, and public officials. However, the Supreme Court order may be interpreted as curbing this right, especially in the context of individual and political commentary. It is not uncommon for individuals or politicians to make statements that are critical of each other or of the government or same electoral group or demographic. Such a statement may be seen as hate speech by some, and the police may use the Supreme Court's order to register FIR against politicians or individuals for making such a statement.